What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve-Fall, and welcome to 10 Count right here on Wrestling News Co. On today's edition, I am talking to the MVP of the Royal Rumble. It's Chelsea Green. How are you today?
Wow, that felt good to hear. Man, this is my first interview post Royal Rumble. So hype me up a little. I got smushed.
Wow. Well, we were going to talk about you being smushed in a little bit, but sure, let's jump into it. Now, your goal heading into this Royal Rumble, was it to be the most entertaining? Because you certainly hit the mark on every single level, being smushed, surviving more than 5 seconds. So let's talk about that. What were your goals heading into this Rumble?
I mean, I guess my goal is always to win, so that then I can go on to WrestleMania. But really the goal of Royal Rumble is just to be the person that entertains, the person that the crowd talks about, whether it's cheering for or booing or whatever it is. And really that is and has been always my goal coming back to WWE, is always just to get people talking. Also, please don't mind my animals. They're all around all the time.
It's fine. If Matt jumps up on there as well, then we have problems, but
Then we have a bulldog. I don't know that he can fit on the back here, but he could probably fit right here.
he can hold on. It's fine. But honestly, like, though, last year you returned at the Royal Rumble. People were pumped. People were excited. 5 seconds. But then here we are now, 1 year later at the Royal Rumble. How are you feeling about the year that you've had since returning and now here at the Rumble having a performance of a lifetime?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like I had the performance of a lifetime last year too, because you cannot erase history. I mean, you can erase history, but you know, 5 seconds like that now is going to be in the opening of the Royal Rumble for quite a while, with
Yeah.
Valhalla joining me now as well. But gosh, I've had a really, really awesome year. And I feel like from last year's Royal Rumble to this year's Royal Rumble, I don't think I could have written a better script of what this year could have brought me. It's just been so awesome and full of surprises that I just didn't even know existed. And now this year I finally have my green card, so I'm able to travel with WWE internationally. I feel like even more good stuff is coming my way.
Oh man, I'm pumped because I went to every single WWE PLE last year except Saudi Arabia with a 19-hour flight, and I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. But yeah, there's so many international events coming up. Elimination Chamber, we have in Canada, we're going to be heading Money in the Bank. So
We
there's a
have
lot heading up.
Australia, France, Canada, Germany,
Germany,
and I mean, we're definitely going to go back to Saudi at some point. I'm even going in a week to do media. So it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year, not just for me, but also for, the entire company.
of course. And whose idea was it for you to be smushed, not once, not twice, but a billion times in the Royal Rumble by Nia Jax and Piper?
Well, that just kind of happened, didn't it? And I'm not, now that I've survived it, of course, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining, because you know what? Those hashtags on Twitter that allow me to trend, and the comments coming in and the DMs coming in and texts coming in, it was all worth it.
Yeah. And it was just so funny because at one point you're definitely wobbly legged and Piper's sitting there slapping you and trying to get you to wake back up. And Royal Rumble's always fun. We count down and we yell and we scream for who's coming out. But inside the Rumble, it's really the moments, because everyone gets tossed out eventually. But the
Right.
moments of what happens inside the Rumble, because you can't be doing huge moves when there's 1,000 people in the ring at the same time. So designing this for you to be showcased reminds me of like Mr. Perfect, when he would come in and just bump like crazy for people. And here you are bumping for Nia and Piper. Again, how you doing? How you doing after that?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, wrestling hurts, doesn't it? It never feels
Not
good,
ballet.
It never feels good. And but mentally, I feel great, and that really takes over. That really is what matters after a Royal Rumble. How do you feel mentally? Do you feel like you've left your mark? Do you feel like people are talking about it? Do you feel like you went out there and you looked your best and you felt your best and you performed your best? And maybe some fans would think I didn't perform my best, but for me, for what I want to bring to the table, I feel pretty proud.
Yeah, it's called sports entertainment, and you hit all the marks on that one. But there always are surprises inside that Royal Rumble, and I interviewed her yesterday. Jordynne Grace from TNA showed up in the Royal Rumble, and boy, she delivered. She had a performance just like you, sticking out. Everyone's talking about Jordynne now as well. Did you know about Jordynne being a secret entrant into the Royal Rumble?
No, I didn't. And I was so mad at her. I told her, I'm like, I can't believe I was texting you and you didn't tell me. When I say I had no clue, I truly, we all sit around in the locker room and we think like, okay, maybe it could be this person, maybe it could be this. Who's a really cool surprise that it could be this year? Who's kind of in the realm of possibility? She was not even in the realm of possibility. And that's what makes it so cool. The fact that us as a locker room and a roster was surprised. I can only imagine how surprised the fans were. I like, what an amazing surprise for the fans to get.
Yeah, she was trolling people all day on Saturday, posting videos from her house, thinking this will trick the audience. But again, like you said, people are sitting around going, well, who could it be? And then you stop breaking down scenarios of like, would it be AJ Lee? Well, CM Punk's here. Would it be so-and-so? Would it be Matt Cardona because Chelsea's here? Like all these little thoughts go through your brain Royal Rumble day. But the fact that she showed up, and we talked about how she's challenging, pretty much challenged Ivy. She
Yeah.
challenged Natalia, and she has challenged Bianca Belair to show up in TNA for one-on-one matches. So with you previously being in TNA, who do you want from TNA to come into a WWE ring and face you, maybe one-on-one or in a tag team match?
Jordynne. Easy. I love Jordynne. I love her. I think that in the ring, we really mesh well together. We really hit hard and run fast. And that's the kind of opponent I want. And that's what I want WWE fans to be able to see out of me as well. I want to be able to give them the 5-star matches that they deserve. And Jordynne is an amazing opponent to be able to do that with. I also think Kylan King is, oh my gosh, she is going to be the next big thing in TNA. So, I definitely could see Kylan making her way over to WWE. Who knows?
Man, Triple H in the press conference made fun of the term forbidden door, but at the same time, I'll call the open door policy then. We'll use a door reference in general because now it seems like there is a working environment. All Japan and the WWE were working together. Now you got TNA. It seems like over the years it was a closed door. Now it's wide open. Hey, you want to come work? Let's work together. So I love that concept because for wrestling fans and media in general, we know there's more than one company. Like we know there's multiple organizations, but I understand that you're the WWE champion. You're not the champion of the world. So it's
Well,
different.
right. And I mean, I would have given an arm and a leg to be able to come in and do the Royal Rumble when I was working for other companies. So I'm really happy to see
Yeah.
this happening because I know the potential of these women. I have literally wrestled for every company in the world that would have me. So I know I've seen the pool of female talent and it is deep. When I tell you it is deep, it is so freaking deep. And I still follow the indies and I try to keep up with the new girls coming up and see, what they're wearing, what they're doing, who they're working for, what they're bringing to the table. And there's just so many amazing talent that I hope we continue to keep that door open for, anyone who fits the bill of WWE and what we bring to the table when we get in that ring.
Yeah. You brought up gear, your Royal Rumble gear. Outstanding. What inspired that? Because every time, big events happen, usually wrestlers bust out new, very nice gear. Where was
Well,
yours inspired? Who made it?
so Jolene made it. Jolene works with us at WWE, but she has made my gear for years. She made one of my first or second sets ever in wrestling. So I was really happy to be able to wear something of hers. Now I had the rainbow gear. I've had it for about a year. And I just couldn't figure out a way to make it special. And then when I spoke about it with some of the girls, and I'm not saying special in a way to represent the LGBTQ plus community. I didn't even know how to make it special at all because it was just rainbow gear to me. And I was thinking, it's kind of got scales. Do I want to go like a fish route? Like, what's the theme of this? And then when I was talking about it with some of the girls, and they kind of brought up the fact that I am an ally of the community and I always have been, and my partner represents the bi community, and Daria obviously is a huge supporter, her being a member of the community herself. I was like, oh, okay, this is good, but what can I do to make it obvious? What can I do to really put it in people's faces? I don't want to just be a quiet supporter of the community. I want to be out there supporting on the front lines, with Sonya Deville, with Piper Niven, with all the girls that represent the community in WWE. So that's when I decided I was going to get the flag, and I was going to put the flag on my skirt, and I was going to make sure that I didn't just do my regular pose, that I turned around, that I flashed it to the crowd. And even if they didn't understand in that moment, I know that, we all look at social media after the Rumble. And so I made sure that I got those photos and they were ready to be posted. Once I exited the Rumble, I was able to post them and double down on the fact that I was coming to Florida, being in the Rumble, supporting my, LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah. Again, yeah, as soon as you turned around, everyone's like, thumbs up. Everyone, there's people out there who obviously, hate anything in general, but you
Yeah.
out there representing, you could say it's partly cloudy, like, oh, it's partly sunny. Like, oh, okay.
And you
Jeez.
know what? At the end of the day, I'm supporting what I want to support, what I think is important to me. And I don't care if people don't like it. I don't, because I know that people like Sonya Deville have had to struggle their entire life to be able to be out. So
Yes.
for me, a straight white woman, I'm going to support them. I'm going to do whatever I can to be able to put that out there. And I'm so amazed by the love and support that I felt. And I hope that my fellow coworkers feel that too. I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but I'm here to support them. So
Yeah. Sunshine and rainbows. That's a good term. Yeah, people, whatever. We'll move on beyond the hate. You mentioned Sonya, though. You and Sonya were a tag team for a brief moment, and then she got injured, and then Piper comes on in. What were the plans? Because I know you were doing kind of a social media, let's find a new partner type of deal, and then Piper comes on in. And did you know Piper before? Because now it feels like this combo is perfect. The loudmouth Chelsea Green telling you what to do, but this big muscle, like, hey, do what I tell you to do. And Piper could be just snapped you in two if she wanted to.
I mean, so when I put out the Chelsea's Got Talent, that was just for me. That was not anything that I was going to do with WWE. That was not approved by creative. That was just me being me. I am always extra. I always try to think outside the box and do things on my days off. So, and I did not think it was going to take off like that. I knew that next week that Piper was going to be my partner. I did continue on with the Chelsea's Got Talent, but I knew the dynamic of Piper and I moving forward was going to be something fun. I didn't know how we were going to make it work. I didn't know, what like this dichotomy of our characters was going to end up being, but I knew we were going to make it work because on a personal level, we like each other. We met in 2015, I believe. January, maybe January 2016, but 2015, 2016, we met, we lived together in Japan, we wrestled for Stardom. So now, I mean, what a full circle moment for both of us to be on WWE TV, on Raw, and being tag partners. Like, we just never thought that could have happened. But I really think that we mesh so well. And I think that you guys have also seen the evolution of us trying to mesh, trying to fit together, trying to work as a cohesive team. And the funny thing is that I don't know that we've worked as cohesively ever as we did in that Rumble. Even though
Yeah.
we had some weird moments, I feel like we were such a team, and that we both kind of sat down and spoke about that on the Monday following the Rumble. Like, I feel like we're in our groove. I feel like
Yeah.
we've got something here, and who knows where this is going to go.
That moment when she catches you on the outside and pretends to almost drop you, you're like, don't do it, please. Don't do
But
it.
that's us. That is us. That is so our relationship in real life. And we are such different people, but we just have the same core values and we just want to entertain.
Oh man. And of course, with WrestleMania coming up, is there a match that you are really, really hoping happens? Maybe you and Piper versus somebody, or you in a singles match. What is the ultimate goal at WrestleMania?
I mean, back. So now that they're with the Kabuki Warriors, I actually think, just going to throw it out there, that this could be the perfect little reunion because when Piper and I lived together, we were wrestling in Japan. We were wrestling Kyrie. We weren't wrestling Asuka, but we were wrestling the next best thing, EO. So I feel like that could be a perfect callback to everything we've ever gone through
Wow.
in this wrestling world. I'm not going to say that I want a singles match because right now in my career, I don't know. I don't know if that's the type of wrestler I am. I am deep in this tag team division and I'm proud of it and I feel like I've really really helped build this tag division this year. So I kind of want to see that through.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because over the years, the tag team division for the women have been up and down, up and down, up and down. How do you feel it's going right now? Because obviously, with you involved, suddenly there was more. It's not just wrestling, there was sports entertainment involved with it as well, versus, hey, we're just really good wrestlers, which you are. But at the same time, entertaining is what we're trying to do here as well. Do you feel like more teams are needed to keep this momentum going, or we're just going to keep on going the way we're going? And because Triple H clearly is putting more emphasis on the tag team division of the women than previous regimes.
And I mean, actually, if you think about it, if we break down the amount of tag teams we have, we're doing well because we have Candice and Indy, Zoe and Shayna, we've got Isla and Alba, we got the Kabuki Warriors, we've got Piper and I, we've got Katana and Kaden, we've got a bunch of the NXT girls. Like, I don't know. I mean, even if we throw in a couple tag teams, if we throw in Shotzi with someone, if we throw in Mia Yim with someone, if I mean Ivy and Maxine, like that again, our roster is deep right now.
Yeah.
So I really think we've got a good chance of having these titles continue to mean something and not take the dip that we've seen in the past. And I think going into WrestleMania, having a really banger tag team match is going to be key to that. And I can't see why it wouldn't happen. I mean, that's like you said, Triple H he's really, really putting a lot of effort into the females and into the female tag division. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel like this year is going to be really good for women in WWE.
Same. I agree. And one final question before we wrap this up. I recently was at Royal Rumble weekend doing media and interviews, and I was sitting on the ground editing, and Samantha walked by me. Now, I didn't yell, "Hey, Samantha." I yelled, "Chelsea Green." And she turned right around. We took a picture, and that was fun. But recently, for a little while, they wouldn't say Chelsea Green. They would just say, here comes Chelsea Green. Yeah, she is, No, but what was up with that? Tell me, as
So,
Hurricane once said, what's up with that?
so I don't know fully where that came from, but I do know Samantha was told not to say it. Now that only lasted, I mean, maybe 3 weeks, a month. I mean, my gut tells me that someone high up thought, let's not make a big scene over all of the entrances. We're just trying to announce them. We're trying to have the announcers play their role and things like that. And then I think my gut tells me that social media maybe got in someone's ear and people realize how much they love to hear. The fans love to hear my announcement. And honestly, I was so sad to see it go. And I felt like a little part of me on my entrance was lost. So for me, I did go and I did ask and verbalize like, hey, I love my announcement. I really don't want it to go anywhere. But of course, at the end of the day, I just have to let it be because I'm still going out there to the ring. I'm still doing my job. I'm still wrestling, you know? So I just kind of I said what I had to say and I left it. And then 3 weeks later, after the internet kind of went up in flames over it, it came back and all I have to say is thank you Twitter for once in my career. Thank you Twitter.
For what? No. They've always supported you, except when they disagree with you on something and then they totally just rip you apart all day. You know, it's Twitter.
Twitter's a scary, scary land. I prefer TikTok and Instagram, but at the end of the day, I think Twitter, I think Twitter did their thing.
Good job, Twitter. You did your job for once. Well, thank you so much for being here on Tank Out. Chelsea Green, right here on Wrestling News Co. I have more questions, but I know you have a lot more things to do today because after the Royal Rumble, everybody wants a piece of Chelsea
I'm a
Green.
busy, busy, busy girl. Okay. So we'll do part 2.
I love it. And like the sign says behind you, I like his beard. Folks, I don't even know what that means. But thanks for being here on Tank Count. I'm Steve Fall. She's Chelsea Green. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.